Yo guys, the video you guys have all been waiting for, the OpTic ROKKR Skyline hardpoint breakdown. I just need to give some quick thoughts, a quick consensus before we get started into this breakdown. So my verdict on OpTic is no roster changes. I know Kenny's been playing horrible, but there's no clear upgrade. And this game was like a perfect example of them getting outclassed, but still somehow the game was still close. Like after like 3 rotations on P2, next thing you know, they're up to 224 to like 190. And I'm wondering how, because ROKKR played probably like the best Skyline hardpoint you could possibly play with like some errors on there because not everything is going to be perfect on a map like Skyline. I thought ROKKR played it as best as you could play it, especially against a top team. Like their teamwork was absolutely phenomenal. We're going to get into multiple examples. There's two things that you need to be successful in Black Ops 6. Good teamwork and gunny. And they had both. And it showed in this map. And they probably should have won more handedly, which just goes to show Skyline Hardpoint kind of got to go because the scoreline did not reflect like what I watched for this 11-minute hardpoint map. I felt like it was pretty one-sided in the favor of ROKKR in terms of who was playing it better, but somehow it still ended a super close game. And I think that's just the way the map plays, but we're going to get into this right now. And to elaborate on like anything further, there's no clear upgrades, and he is the best AR that you could get. If this was like near the end of the season, going into like another season, there would be upgrades in the AR category that you could do during the off season, but during the season, they got to ride it out with him. And they need a level-headed, mature player that brings structure to the team, which I don't think they're going to find in challengers besides one guy, Tyler Fellow. He's the only AR in challengers that I feel like if we're talking about at a game, but just like mental-wise and what he brings to the team, has pretty much what Kenny has besides maybe like, you know, the winning mentality, used to getting lots of championships. One thing he does not have. And in a team like this, I mean, you're going to see multiple examples during this game. Like, you could see very clearly it's not just a hook problem, it's a whole team problem. And the reason why you need a player like Kenny is because AG, Shotzi, Dashi, no matter how good they are, all three of them have the ability to black out. Kenny's main issue is you're just getting gunned right now, and he's just not comfortable right now. But I rarely ever see Kenny blacking out. Like, I don't see him making a bad play. Like, if anything, he just puts himself in horrible positions and he gets gunned, which you're going to see multiple times during this game. But they need a player like him in the team. Like, it's a hot take, but like, I would drop Dashi before I drop Kenny any day of the week. I would drop Dashi any day before Kenny in this OpTic team with the players they have right now specifically. All right. Okay, yeah. Okay, like we don't need all these. Okay, we don't need all these camera angles. All right. So I want to talk about just like the break off real quick. So you're gonna see an example like 2 rotations later on P1 in the exact same scenario with 2 different players. You're gonna see how it works. But I just want to point out here. So number 1 and number 2. So Dashi goes bottom bed. He picks the guy piano. Shotzi and Kenny are going through top hallway, as you can see. I feel like Kenny should be going with him. Like, go with them up to like the first window, hard aim that, because like they're about to get Paul X right there. So they get Paul X. I don't know why Kenny like ran back to AC when like the whole point on like this P1 is to flip spawns like the P2 right away. So I don't know why he went top AC, because you're going to see the example later. We're going to bring it up later and you're going to be like, oh my God, it makes so much sense now. But he should have went down the hallway. He could have helped get Geo, because Geo now turns and focuses on Shotzi. Kenny could have got that kill. It would have had everyone down, 3 pushes up, and all of a sudden like they're going to flip spawns. ROKKR may get like another close spawn like piano, but that's easy fucking spawn kills. That's easy spawn kills. But they'll have like the numbers in their spawn. But he dies there and he tries to chill him from AC, and you're never going to win the gunfight here. Like, he's basically invincible on these steps for anyone who's played this game. Like, this AC to there, dude, you're losing that every time. You probably have to hop on top of that to have like a better angle. But like he's basically invincible on there. Like he has to like troll a lot, but like he ends up actually getting Kenny. Like right there, Kenny has to go down with them. Go down with them. Hard aim that. Hard aim that. It allows Shotzi to get by. So even if Kenny dies there, Shotzi probably gets the trade. But I don't really like that. And a problem OpTic was having here that you're gonna see ROKKR had lots of success on is OpTic didn't work together to flip P2 spawns. ROKKR got like at least like, I'd have to calculate it again because I just watched the map. I wasn't paying attention at the time. A minimum 120 seconds off of P2, at least. Because every time ROKKR didn't have the spawns, they would always work together to like take the spawns back, which is something OpTic never did. Like even right here, like a small thing. Like OAG gets this kill and then he helps Dashi on this. I think right there, that's his gap to push through like Jim right there. Like you basically got everyone down. You need to try to flip this one as fast as possible and say he kind of stays there, and then 5 ends up getting him. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's number 7. Fucking number 7 is everywhere, dude. And Nero is everywhere here. Yeah, but if AG actually pushes forward, he actually probably trades out Nero, and then Kenny loses that, and they were just in a blender here because they could not get P2 spawns. They would go like 1 by 1. I mean, Shotzi actually made a play in the back here, but they actually did read it because, and I really credit Eshel for this as well. He knows his timings very well. So Shotzi right here on the cross. So 7 on the hill, sees Shotzi, shoots at him. Notice how Eshel's not looking right away. He definitely gets the call. A guy's pushing through kitchen, but he knows the approximate time it's going to take him to be able to get to where he's at. So he's still focused on helping his team in the front. Look, he's helping with like the team fire, and then perfect time turns to get Shotzi. I thought that was great. And OpTic just had a bad time on this P2. They could not win over these P2 spawns. They had the chance at the beginning of the game. And also, dude, there's just so much to point out with how ROKKR's like ROKKR played this map like as best as you could possibly play it, especially against a top team. And it still ended up being a close game. Like they should have won like 250 to like 150 with the way this game was going. And here's one of the many examples we're going to go through of their teamwork right here. So after they get Shotzi, notice how they get everyone down. They get everyone down. And now 8 gets the spawn. Okay, yeah, so he actually got blessed that spawn. I actually don't know how he didn't spawn back. Like, bro, his team has control of this, but he actually basically got a blessed spawn. But take a look at how they work with this. A number 5 blocks like the back. He even like goes back to make sure block the back, so they know where OpTic's spawning. They know all of them are spawning back P4 in the corner. And take a look how they funnel them. In the words of Chance, you're gonna even hear Chance in the commentary. I'll even turn it up. He says they just funneled OpTic into a kill box, which is basically what they did. So based off where Geo spawns, now take a look at Eshel. He knows all of them are up now. And look at the pinch he goes on to delay this P2 push. Because even though he's coming from behind and he's basically going where they want him to spawn, he's going to be able to get back around and kill them all. And then they're going to keep spawning out because they're still blocking the back. So him going on this pinch is not going to flip the spawns because he's blocking the back. And he's going to kill them fast enough and push up far enough that OpTic's going to continue to spawn back here. And this was just a beautiful play out of him. This quick pinch right here. Like, they basically have him on a sandwich right here. He's got crossfire. He's in the back shooting. This guy's getting free kills in the back. Yeah, so you can even hear a Chance. Like, basically had him in a kill box, and they sandwiched them all, and now they have him on like that spawn. And now he knows, since he's pushed up kitchen, they're not gonna be getting kitchen spawns. They're gonna be getting bedroom spawns. So it doesn't even matter what number 3 is doing, like, because like they're actually gonna be getting him. 6 is just patrolling the area. I thought that was great. I thought Shotzi actually made a play. And I like how Estral had like complete trust in his teammates to be able to like get this guy out, and all he was focusing on doing is getting kills on the people spawning up, which just delays the P2 push. Like they're not gonna be able to ever have numbers going in, which would cause difficulty to ROKKR's team when like they're trying to hold P2. Instead, they just gotta focus on one guy, and then you have a guy in mid spawn killing everyone and just like delaying everything. And OpTic could never get a proper break on this P2. Like this is proper hardpoint Call of Duty right here that we're watching from ROKKR, which is a vast improvement from what I saw from them last stage. Like they actually made me eat my words with the way they played like this map. Like absolutely ate a slice of humble pie with what I was fucking saying about them before about how inconsistent they were in hardpoint. And they probably still are inconsistent at hardpoint. Just watch them play their next match and like they lose. But the way they played against OpTic, this map was just perfect. It was like so much teamwork. Like everyone knew what they were doing. The way they're blocking spawns, pinch, dude, everything was like on point. Everything was on point. This poor guy Kenny, like, dude, I wasn't even focused on Kenny like this whole time, but I am gonna like sort of give him a defense. So there were some mistakes on like the initial P1, but I am gonna say the P2 blender is hard. When the other team, you're going against a good team and they have full control of P2 and they got guys pushed out, it is really hard to break P2. Like if you're spawning over here constantly, it is so hard to break. Like even like the timings, like going down the hallway to the door, not knowing when they could slide out, they could walk up the stairs. There might be a guy kitchen. Like it is extremely hard to break P2. No matter how good of a team you are, if you're going against another good team, like P2 is a money hill on this map. I think P2, as this game's evolved throughout like the year, P2 is a bigger money hill than P4. And ROKKR got so much time off of P2 this whole game. Like OpTic couldn't even touch the hill. Like OpTic at most only had like a guy. Only had a guy at a time trying to hit P2, which is just like never ever going to work. Yeah, so right now Kenny's 0-8. I wasn't really on like the Kenny watch. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm more focused on team. So he had the gunfight in like the hallway, and then the other times he's just trying to break P2, which you're losing. And then he had that one thing on P1 when he slid, and like the guy killed him right there when he was about to get P2. Like probably could have played that a bit better with the AR, but overall, I mean, it's pretty easy to go 0-8 when you're on like the bad side of Skyline. I'm not too judgmental on it, but it's not good. It's not good. I'm not gonna say it's good, especially when there's another AR on your team that is fucking 9. I mean, it just means it's not good at you. And freaking Miles is so funny in the commentary. Paul X goes small X. Yeah, that's so funny. All right, so how does OpTic get broken on this? How does OpTic get broken on this P3, bro? How does OpTic get broken on this P3? Let's watch. So Paul X takes an underground route. I actually thought AG played this pretty good, but then he made like a slight, I'm not even gonna call it a mistake. So he gets the kill up top, but obviously he doesn't know that Paul X hit an underground route. So like he kind of flies off because he's trying to get P1 control. Can't blame him. But that one kill opens it up, and I thought Estral took a great route up top. He goes through the hallway, but drops out the second window, which is what Shotzi was not expecting. He gets Shotzi, and Nero going on a quick plat pinch. And the reason why this is fine is because notice how he's going on this, and his teammate's aware. And his teammate goes to block the spawn instantly so the spawns don't flip, which means every death OpTic's going to get, they're going to start spawning over here. Because immediately he's going in this pinch, because P3 is a hard hill to break when you're constantly hitting it through the same side. You can't have success on it because there is like this way, there's this way, there's this way, and there's this way. There's basically 4 ways, which is crazy. There's 4 different ways from 2 different directions, which is mind-blowing for any map. But yeah, notice how Nero's going on a quick pinch. a P3 so they could get control. Number 5 instantly going back to block the spawns. And now everyone from OpTic is spawning down there. So that was just a great break out of them. Great break out of them. Just a lot of teamwork, a lot of communication. You could tell they're actually talking to each other by the way their arrows are moving. Which I think is an issue OpTic had, not gonna lie. Like the last couple times I watched him play this map. So that's a bunch of trades on the hill, but they have control of the P4. AG goes for a gunfight there that he's never going to win. I think OpTic actually breaks this, I feel. I forgot, even though I just watched this during breakfast. I'm pretty sure OpTic breaks it like halfway through, but... Oh yeah, Kenny gets a 3-piece. He finally gets on the board, so he goes through bed right there. He gets to trade on Paul X, gets the angle on Geo right there, and then slides and gets number 6. So that's a good break, and then they anticipate Nero coming, and they break it. So that's a good break from OpTic. If you're ROKKR, you probably want that one back. I'm not gonna lie. Probably want that one back. So this is another mixy. This is just another. This is another fucking mixy P4. Not really much to talk about here. So AG gets a fucking split spawn here, and I know that like there's a guy on the hill and there's a guy basically staring at the back. So like, but I have seen people like spawn here even when the guy's like staring at this. I feel like AG should be like spawning around here, but I mean, him spawning there when like there's a player from the other team there also does sound kind of ludicrous. He should be spawning in the corner or something, bro. Like him getting that far out spawn is kind of weird, but kind of understandable in like the gist of Black Ops 6. But it's like, what is AG gonna do with this blessed spawn that he got given? Is the question. I didn't really like that he just like played for the hill there, but they end up actually getting like the spawns there. I actually don't know how. Yeah, it's because actually number 1 was able to find a gap through. Okay. It is ridiculously hard to like watch every single arrow. Okay, so here's another thing. So even though OpTic got the spawns, dude. So even though OpTic got the spawns here, so OpTic got blessed with like the spawns here. So you're gonna see it. They get like 2 down. And the guy dies kitchen. I didn't really like the rogueness from AG just to like fly off like that. Probably could have like peeked it. He's probably thinking it's only a guy, but even then, if it's only one guy, like you still lost the gunfight anyway. But you basically gave up P2 spawns just like that. When you just got 2 down, you knew the last guy was kitchen. Probably could have played the kitchen thing a lot better. He's probably trying to fly off just in case, because if you take the proper way and you just stare off the patio and if you're just staring off the patio and you just see that one door, he could easily sneak under that door. So I could kind of understand why he's flying off. So if he flies off, he could actually cover both doors and in midair to turn around and see if he made it under piano. So I'm not going to fault it. Maybe could have played a bit cleaner, but then Pollux ends up getting a spawn kill and they flip the spawns, but OpTic actually ends up getting them back again. And here's also another thing that I actually fucking wanted like to talk about. There's so many different things I forgot. Okay. So you're down 105 to 67. So like you notice like your team dies here, and you notice they now have control of like the kitchen side. This one is like a hindsight, and I want to know some answers in like the comments of what you guys think about it, because it could go either way. Do you think it would be better for Shotzi to backtrack and go help back kitchen, or do you think he made the play here just playing for Hill? Because he actually ended up getting like 20 seconds off of this. Like I'm thinking once his whole team dies, maybe he should like backtrack, but maybe that's a bit too harsh because he ended up getting 20 seconds, but it came at the cost of ROKKR getting like the P2. And ROKKR ends up getting... Okay, so he ends up getting this 20 seconds on P1, but ROKKR ends up getting like 50 seconds on P2. So do you think that was like the proper... Do you think that was a correct play in the moment? Granted, we are judging in the moment, but the second his whole team dies here, if he should not just like try to backtrack, like, you know, even go back down the hallway. Granted, it would be like him against everybody, but I think Dashy right there, he should be doing better because you know they're all coming through kitchen. Probably be like playing back or at least harding this a bit better because he kind of ran in there like he knew they were there, but he wasn't really like anticipating like a gunfight right away. Like probably could have played his life there and then Shotzi backtrack and help him. But I'm not sure if this 20 seconds on the P1 was worth the 50 seconds that ROKKR ended up getting on the P2. Like he gets great time on this P1, but I'm thinking at what cost, you know? At what cost?
A good chunk of time here from OpTic. Shotzi doing some majestic work inside of the hill. And again, if you don't have the spawns, you want the time. OpTic have closed the...
So right there in kitchen, there's another gunfight. Kenny was losing a lot of gunfights, like a lot of gunfights, man. But it is what it is, and now OpTic's gonna get put in another P2 blunder again. Oh my god, my bad. Holy shit, I just smacked my mic in my mouth. So Estro gets a two-piece like right at like the front door there, and they read shots going around the back. And now take a look at this setup once again. I mean, blocking the back, he's pushed up on P1, so they're not going to be getting a close bedroom spawn. This is the ideal P2 setup you'd probably like to have, but either way, it could be good. If you're pushed up in kitchen, they spawn there. If you're pushed up here, like they spawn over there. Either or is good. It all depends on like whatever your team is more comfortable with, or it just depends what situation you're in anyway. But this is like the perfect setup. Pushed up. Number 7 has the crossfire. 5 has like the front fire. 4 obviously knows because of the spawn that they got. There's a guy pushed up P1, so he actually reads it. I'm curious why like Shotzi kind of just like ran like he didn't know they're pushed up. Like you're spawning back there. You gotta know from playing this map a million times. There's a guy pushed up on this side. Have to know that. But Dashi ends up getting like the trade. But look, 5 and 8 are basically controlling that side, and like they're just F. They're just F. And they're able to get like some kills, but no matter what they do, they're always getting traded. Pops a 2. And also, Nero was taking a lot of great routes, so we're probably going to try to highlight some, but it's incredibly hard to like rewind for every single arrow. Like it would probably be like an hour and 20-minute video. Maybe I should do that shit for members only. Just an hour 20-minute video of just rewinding every single arrow. But he was taking some god tier routes. So right there, like he goes up this stairs, repinching the hill, anticipates they're gonna come down the hallway, 2 pieces them. He's there for the trades already. This game's actually a lot closer than like you would actually think, which is crazy. I didn't really like AG pushing up there, but I mean he didn't really know like I was gonna be up top already. But this guy Kenny cannot catch a break, bro. He was getting fried. And like notice how every time ROKKR was playing together on every rotation, which is something OpTic never did. But ROKKR could afford to because of the lead that they had to like take these routes to like win over spawns, and they did so well the whole time doing it. And it's so crazy how OpTic was able to keep this game even remotely close when, I mean, they weren't really playing together that much. Like you've been watching the whole game so far and didn't really work together on any rotation to get any time at all. But like
ROKKR suffocating OpTic so far here on Skyline.
But then you got fucking Nero. He just walks in and just pops a 3-piece like like just threw like the Nero threw the Nero Pokeball.
Skyline. We are loaded up in the hard point. Nero though breaks it wide open. Can Nero find the third as well? He does.
He's just like not reacting. Dashy's just like not even reacting. So I'm confused because like they popped 2 here. Kenny died in the back, and I know he called out 2 guys because 2 guys were shooting at him. So if you kill 2 guys in mid, you know the last 2 guys are on this side. So I don't know why Shotzi is looking this way. This could be like another scenario where, hey, freaking Kenny again in the comms saying something, nobody's listening because you killed 2 guys there. You know where the other 2 guys are. Granted, he's probably thinking it's Nero. He might be taking another route after like he gets that kill, going back up top, back around. But why the fuck would he do that? But like 2 in Narnia, and then he gets 3 because he wasn't expecting. And Dashy's expecting the other guy to hit the other side, and he gets shot in the back. And then Kenny gets bullied on P1 by basically the whole entire team. And I love this whole time how, so like usually when like you push up to like the spot that Nero's in and you don't have a guy like blocking the back, they usually spawn in the back. But him, number 6, staying around like this side prevents OpTic from spawning in the back. He's blocking the spawn from being in the bedroom. So I thought that was great out of him. Like even the way like he backtracks, like he's playing his life down there, as you could tell. I thought that was great out of him. Just keeping control of bedroom, keeping his team with the spawns. Holy shit, I can't talk. I need to fucking turn down the game volume in the mix out. But something I didn't like from ROKKR. So I mean, there's still 20 seconds. It's a big 20, but like they kind of lost the spawns from overcommitting. At this P3, but I can't really blame them because there's like 20 seconds by the time all of them like were in there, but it came at the cost of them losing the spawns. Like they had enough of a lead that even if OpTic gets 115 and you're at 169, if you hold like the P4 spawns, like you're basically going to go up like probably minimum 190 to 120, which would be a significant lead going into a P1. But like they gave that one up.
Towards new. Will be Pred. Pred wins it. Nice fight at the back line there for the OpTic boys. A sign of life now.
Poor guy Kenny could not win a gunfight, man. Poor guy Kenny cannot win a gunfight. And here's another thing. Okay. So this was probably like the biggest one. So we remember like the Hook Shotzi Kenny thing on like the P4, and then we heard Kenny in his stream talking about like what their game plan on Skyline Hardpoint is. Like on P4 Hill, they want control of the top. So, and then there's like a miscommunication there where he was asking for help, but everyone was blacked out, not even paying attention to him. So in this scenario, this is what I'm confused about. And I think this scenario of Kenny getting set up again, quote unquote, and this is a scenario of his teammates blacking out on him, because I know Kenny calmed this shit. So right here, he's on old right here. He's watching old. He dies right here. I know he probably calmed. There's a guy on old probably pushing through kitchen. I'm so confused why Dashy didn't even like go back around and check. He threw a fucking trophy at the back steps and then walked. And yes, he got the 2-piece. Yes, he was able to get a 2-piece up here, but it came at the cost of Kenny spawning in right into number 7 again. And he was not even thinking, because he's thinking like Dashy had it taken care of. He's thinking probably Dashy checked it and it was just like clear. But like he didn't even check it. So Kenny's going up, and then all of a sudden like he turns around, fucking Nero's already there. He's like, whoa, what the fuck? And that's how they lose like the P4. And you can even hear Chance talk about it. You can even hear Chance. You can hear Chance instantly. Like when 7 pushes through, you can hear Chance go like, Like Chance knew exactly what I do. Look, take a look at this.
As they sorely needed going to this P4. They had a great break in the first go around. Now they've got the hold, but for how long? Trophies at the ready. Oh no. First wave. Beautiful shots.
Like, oh,
Dashi
no.
gets 2. But one makes it through the back. That's going to be Nero. We'll see how this one plays out. Pred, find a corner. Stay alive. Paul gets in. The break is there.
That's an interesting moment. That's when we got to hear the comms from OpTic, because they just let grass completely wide open for Nero to go on that pinch. And I don't know who was supposed to pick it up, but Kenny's the one that tries to like fix that mistake. And when he loses the gunfight, all hell breaks loose. Still Mixie here on the P.
Yeah, so I feel like that's like a scenario where I don't like. Yes, he gets a 2-piece up top, but I think the more important kill is like that guy in the back. Like both those guys up top, like yeah, they're up top. But let's say Dashi like gets this kill, for example. So if Dashi gets his kill on number 7 and he's just back around here, if the guys come from up top, he's probably going to win like the gunfight, and they have to either drop down into bed or go on the backside, which Kenny had at that point in time. So they could have actually just like held a flawless hold on this P4, but like instead this small miscommunication. I don't even know why he swung a trophy there. Like I don't even know why he swung a trophy there. Like if you're not gonna be there, what's the point of throwing a trophy there? Because if you're anticipating a guy to, it's almost like he heard the comm. He's like, yeah, I'll just throw this shit. Like I don't know. I want to know the thought process of throwing a trophy there, but not even being there. Like that was the weirdest shit I've ever seen. And yeah, he pops a 2-piece, and like this is where like the casual viewer comes in, because casual was like, oh well, you got fucking 2, like da 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 da. But like he was probably expecting that Dashi pick that shit up. He probably wasn't expecting the guy was gonna come from the place where he just died when there's already a person at the steps, which is probably spectating that dude. Like look. So at this point in time, Kenny in spectator probably like staring at Dashi going back this way, so he probably thinks it's covered. He definitely thinks it's covered if he's actually spectating him. So by the time he comes up, he's thinking he's just gonna fucking probably gonna pick up the top AC, but the next thing you know, number 7 comes around, and they end up breaking off of that. That 2-piece is basically fucking worthless because of what number 7 did.
The break is there. That's an interesting moment. That's when we got to hear the comms from OpTic, because they just let grass completely wide open.
But yeah, that one was kind of like a little bit. That one was a little bit suspect to me. I'm not gonna lie. That was a little bit suspect to me.
Still Mixie here on the P4 time, but certainly not a good.
This was big time that if OpTic got, you gotta think with how close this game was. If OpTic gets this P4, they actually win this map, and it's over. That's just another blackout moment. Just another blackout moment. And then you have number 2, who I believe got blessed with another split spawn. If I'm, yeah, he did. So I'm confused why like 2 doesn't spawn there, because they have control of the back. It's only a guy in the hill, but I think that's just like the philosophy of the game when like there's a guy on a hill. But I would assume he would get the back spawns because they have a 2v1 number in this whole area. But like I don't know, I actually must be faded then, I guess, because like 2 gets that spawn, but he gets that spawn, but probably because they just got him up the hill. But I don't know, I kind of feel like number 2 should be he gets a free fucking pinch spawn for like. I guess it's literally just. I guess it's just like the way the game is, whatever, you know. And like Shotzi spends all this time playing his fucking life back here, and then he ends up dying, I believe. Yeah. Like number 8's just like smart, and like number 8 actually reads this shit.
But Pred, maybe bails him out long term. A fight for scrap is always a good one, and I mean 15 seconds is
like
worth going for.
just to look at number 8, he's like looking, and then he knows that there's a guy around here. He knows us is around here. They haven't killed him in a while. They're getting all these trades at P4. He's like, there's got to be something up. He's looking for him. He's looking. He's waiting, and then he finally gets him. Now he's like, oh, okay, like now I can do my thing.
Here on Skyline, and Kenny fighting hard from the hard point. Nero's going to get picked up here by Dashi, and that is a clean side of the map right now. For
Big kills from OpTic here. And I was even watching this on Discord with the person, and he was curious why AG was just like here by himself. I didn't think it was that bad. Probably could have played a better angle. He probably wasn't expecting like the whole team to come through there, but like Have to be at a more tradable angle. He's probably just expecting like a guy to come through at least, and he's able to at least get one. But they actually end up getting all four, and they flip the spawns. Or actually, like they're about to flip the spawns. And notice how Astro played. This is a. So we saw OpTic in this position. We saw OpTic in this position like before. When ROKKR got like 2-3 down, they started pushing up through kitchen, and we saw how like Dashy kind of like slid in the door and like he died, wasn't really anticipating it. Estro there staying holding that shit, which is a vast improvement. And like I don't know how Shotzi does not read this, because you know they're all gonna spawn back here again. You know they're gonna get the piano spawn, not even hard aiming it, just flying like a goof. I didn't really like that. But the crazy thing is, OpTic still actually had him getting P2, I'm pretty sure, in the end. And then, so like here, OpTic's able to get the spawns back. Crazy dolphin dive from Estral. Off of like a bad timing here. So like at this point, I'm thinking ROKKR's been dominating this game. But then I'm staring up at the scoreboard and I'm like, it's 180 to 196. Bro, you gotta think like that P1, man. That P1, or I mean like that P4, like this P4, if they get the time here, bro. I mean, probably like a way different game, but they held this P1 like the whole time, bro. They held this P1 the whole time. They did a good job holding this.
Nero's going to get picked up here by Dashy, and that is a clean side of the map right now for OpTic Texas. Time going their way.
Like they kept ROKKR away from this shit. So all of them are all coming through there. So like Dashy off spawn just like hops top AC, and they're all up top there, and they all just get fucking funneled. And then one guy going through the kitchens and war, which I mean, you could say it was great teamwork out of ROKKR to send 3 guys up there because they end up getting the first guy. But then after that, I mean, you got an AR on a head glitch there. You got an AR off spawn there. You're kind of just in a trap there. But I like how they actually committed to like the. I like how they committed to like the teamwork though. So like. So basically, the reason why Estrel's flying in here is because they got 3 down. So he's thinking only 1 guy left on the hill. I gotta hurry up and fucking get this guy, like before the other guys get back in there. But they're already back in there. And the big kicker to why this game ended up being way closer than like it actually was over here. So number 7 gets a terrible timing. He anticipates someone's going to be taking like the kitchen route, gets a horrible timing. He looks outer, Shotzi goes in her, sneaks right by him. And like that opened up everything here. That opened up everything for this. Geo is still such a smart player, and he anticipated there might be like a bad timing because he actually like slides and shoots, almost kills Shotzi. He gets that kill. It's actually a big kill. And then like Nero's like in no man's land after this. Like he expects that guy going by, so he gets number 3. He probably thinks it's the only guy. But then like Geo dies here, and all of a sudden he's like, oh wait, what the fuck? Now he's like backtracking, thinks he might fly off the patio. But number 1 gets a blessed, and the reason why number 1 gets that spawn is because like they just spawn top AC. I mean, you could kind of question like the spawns a bit, but I don't really know. It's like it's all timing. Like there's a guy there, so they can't spawn at piano because that's like the default spawn. No way they would spawn piano when he's like right there in P2, so they have to spawn them out. And since they spawn them out, they have to spawn his teammate closer. So that's why he gets that spawn. Basically gets a blessed spawn, does not expect that. But like if your teammates did calm, hey, like we spawn top AC, that's like the only place that you'd be able to spawn, but they end up getting blessed spawns. And they actually win these back. So now AG comes right through kitchen. Geo does not anticipate that, and they fled the hill, and they get basically all this time. Basically at all this time. And you have to think at this point, like they basically have like the lead now. You have to think like that first P1 when they could have flipped the spawns on the P2, and then that second P2 they never even worked together to win that, and then like the P4 where Dashy doesn't check outer, like that's like three scenarios where this game probably could have been like a 250 to like 140 OpTic. You know? Like OpTic could have ran away with this, but it was like small mistakes.
OpTic holding the P2 line, late breaks here from ROKKR.
So they end up getting all this, and now we're just going to talk about how like ROKKR held a flawless P3 for the victory, which is basically like what they did right here.
I mean, look, just making amends for the
So we're gonna talk about the setup that they got. So I kind of like you could question why he's playing for old, but it basically baits a guy, and it's now a guy they don't have to like account for, like, because basically after you get this kill, they know where they're gonna spawn OpTic, because he's gonna get this kill. They're gonna like spawn him over here, and I gotta talk about fucking Nero again with like just like the rowdy take. So like he goes right through P3, he goes in bed.
I mean, look, just making
Look,
amends for the
take a look. He wraps around bed because he knows like the timing of like the guys up top that may actually drop down or maybe sprinting through the hallway. So even if he doesn't get the kills, he might get info on them crossing like along the backside. So like you won't see any like normal average player do that, where they like walk in and they walk back around just because they know like the timing that they're gonna get. Like I thought that was great out of them. I thought that was great out of him. He wraps back around. He actually gets a 2. And then they get the guy on old. He gets the guy down there. And look at this shit. This is exactly like a repeat of the last time where like they had P3 immediately sprints to bed, blocks that spawn off. He's pushed up, so OpTic gets the deep fucking spawn, bro. They get the deep P2 spawn. They get the deep P2 spawn, and look at this position. Blocking the back, on the hill, irons over there, irons over here. Like in a perfect world, in this position that they're in, they could keep killing them there, and OpTic's going to keep spawning there because they're blocking the back. OpTic, like in a perfect world, because we've talked about this with OpTic in previous. If you've seen any of my OpTic Skyline things, like I've seen OpTic try to execute this in scrims, in games, and everything, but it usually never works because like Shotzi usually gets too aggro and ends up dying. But bro, you could actually keep spawning killing them, and they're just going to keep spawning there, and like they're fucked. But like no team's been able to execute it perfectly because you could easily go up to P2 and they're already gone. Like no team's just gonna like fly all out the window and keep dying, you know. So it's impossible to like keep having them in the blender because you can only watch so many things. Like number 6 can't watch top hall, piano, da da da, and this guy can't watch up top because obviously you know there's shit there. But I'm on like the deep spawn, and I love the route that Estrel takes. Like he's just like staying alive still. So after they block the spawns and they have them all spawning up, Nero now knows like he doesn't have to block the spawn temporarily because they're all spawned up. So he pushes up through the hallway, which is the one thing Estrel cannot watch. So now he's going to pick it up. So that's a great play out of him. And now since Paul X knows they're off spawn, he didn't see anyone for a while. He pushes up, and then he realized once he doesn't see anyone, there may be a guy patio. That's like the last place they could be because they didn't cross through piano. So they're going to be up top. So he looks up top. Nero picks up hallway because that's the one thing Estrel cannot watch because Estrel's playing his life down here. Then once he gets the hallway kill, he goes back around to catch another person on the pinch. You could question why Kenny decided to stay around here instead of just pushing forward, but I mean, that is what it is. And he knows, it's fucking Kenny. I forgot that's a light work fucking gunfight. And then Shotzi, the one guy that was able to make it through, he gets his kill, but immediately number 7 backtracked through hallway, which is just why it's like such a great play. Look, he goes to keep the spawns. Such responsible, good gameplay from ROKKR, man. Like, they deserve this win, man. They played so well. It would be so heartbreaking if they won this, but like, it's so crazy. OpTic's such a good team that even when they're not playing good, they still... like, it's still a close game, which is insane, and they still had the lead. ROKKR played... bro, I don't think ROKKR could have played any better on this Skyline, bro. They played this so good, and they're still losing. Like, this is a skill diff. They played this as best as they can play it, and it's still 224, 212 OpTic. Off, like, a flawless P1 hold, I actually might say. Like, I mean, that P1 hold was actually kind of what got him back in the game, and then the P2 hold when... he was able to make it by Nero, but bro, just like the responsible gameplay. So I gotta like just play this again. It's slow-mo for you guys. Like, just to like really hone in. Just to really hone in. So after they get the 4 dead, take a look at Nero sprinting back to block the spawn, sprinting back to block the spawn. They probably have a guy who like checks like the scoreboard. Okay, all 4 of them are off spawn now, and now he sees there's no one crossing through bed. He gets a horrible timing on fucking Kenny right there. Actually, he actually does see him, so like he tags him. Okay. So now they have them all spawning up. And Nero successfully blocks the spawn. He goes up to pick top hall because it's the one thing Estral cannot watch. Estral's not going to fly in and die like the 4 guys. He's going to play his life, wait for a person to cross by. He's watching this whole P1 poolside. And he goes and picks up the top. He gets the one guy up top. Then when he gets the guy up top, that's when Estral starts going. He realizes that no one's crossing, so the last place someone could be is underground. So Nero walks back to guarantee they're blocking the spawn. And meanwhile, while that's all that's going on, he shoots Kenny on the cross, sees there's nobody else. The only possibility is for him to be fucking top patio. He gets that kill. Estral goes all the way around. Knows there's going to be like a guy around here. Probably was anticipating to be on the stairs. Probably anticipating to be like around here, but ends up getting that kill regardless. He goes all the way back around, responsible to block the spawns, realize where Shotzi is, bottom bed, takes the initiative to go after him and kill him because I don't know why Shotzi didn't continue pushing the back, but it is what it is. So now Nero gets that kill, and now Geo. Okay. So Geo makes a heads up play here because you got to think, you're all alone on P3. What spot can you play to like at least guarantee a kill? Because he's playing a spot to at least guarantee a kill, guarantee like safety and not just like die. He's going out with something. And I thought this one spot he played on the hill, like him playing like the back counter would be, would be a bit too predictable. So take a look at the spot that he plays. This is like a guaranteed spot because like who would actually read this? Because like this guy number 4 probably thinking he's behind the counter or he's behind like the dining tables because you know you could be behind like the dining tables too. So he's not even anticipating this. So like this timing, like by the time he slides in, like he's sliding as if he's like fucking behind like the dining table, but he slides in and Geo's right there. He ends up getting a 2 from that. He was probably anticipating he'd only get 1, but he actually ends up getting 2, which is huge. And then AG gets Nero, or Kenny does, fucking whatever, like they fucking traded it. Bro, and I missed the other Kenny death. There's a freaking Kenny death a while ago that I missed. I actually might go back and add it in this fucking video. I'll actually go back and add it in like the video. Dude, it's so crazy. I like watched this before and I took notes and then like I missed like a bunch of shit, but we still end up going like 50 minutes on this. But so he pops a 2 when he's probably expecting to pop 1. The reflies in there. He's playing off of spawners, but Estral reads that pressure. And now they have OpTic on the heels right now. Because now OpTic's got 20 seconds. What are they going to do? They said, fuck it, we're not going to hit the back. But one guy actually does come back because now he thinks it's like a fucking timing thing. So I actually like I like what 3 did here. Like, so off spawn, they know where all of OpTic's going to be. If you don't see anyone there for a while, you assume they're going to be taking a route. But he actually ends up coming back, which is something that they did not expect. He's able to walk right in here. So I thought that was a great play out of AG to actually come back. I thought that was great, actually. And then, like, here's another route from Nero that I like. Here's another route from Nero that I like. He's basically just like patrolling the area. So he goes into P4, goes into bed, doesn't see anything, but he knows how horrible the timings of Skyline could be. So he wraps around P4, goes back around bedroom again, just to like clear it out, and he actually ends up getting that kill on number 2. Now he actually just goes huge here. He just fucking goes huge here. Not really much analysis on this. He just fucking knows, you know. And now they have everyone flooding in for trades, and they actually end up winning the map there. Thought that was ROKKR couldn't have played that any fucking better, bro. They couldn't have played that any better. They really couldn't have.
And I'm waiting for the player to hit an
They played that
emphatic
really
launch on
good.
that one. I thought
And
those
they still
moves were
barely
nice,
won,
but
which is
no,
so crazy.
cool
Like,
as ice. Maybe preparing
almost
for a long
flawless
series,
as you could
but
play
that's one of the
Skyline. That's
best
just a
plays
horrible map where you got to get that out of the way. Like, if you
Minnesota
play
had
like
all
that good
year.
on any other map, like you're up 150. But OpTic made 3 glaring like mistakes there. Also, Kenny didn't shoot his gun for like the first like 3 minutes of the game, but that's another thing entirely. But I mean, yeah, but I just think you got to give OpTic time. Like, dropping Kenny is not the answer to the issues. Like, there's more issues around everybody else. I feel like he's getting set up. He had 41 deaths, which is okay. It's not me defending Kenny, but at the same time, like, there's not really that many AR. It's not even about the kills, you know? It's not even about the kills. Like, I played multiple times. I played a lot of times over the years where I was doing horrible in a game, but I just felt like my team was not doing the right shit and I was getting set up. I bet you that's how Kenny's fucking feeling. Like, he just feels like I know I'm doing bad, but I swear I'm doing bad because like we're not doing like the right things on the map. And you know, like that P4 is like one of probably many examples, and just like the lack of teamwork. Like, I expect more teamwork. Like a team like OpTic, if they play more like Atlanta FaZe where they're like actually playing like together, like not many people are going to be able to stop them, but they just lack teamwork. I don't know how teamwork just all of a sudden vanishes out of nowhere. I don't understand that. You're playing this game every day. How does teamwork just fucking go away? How are all of a sudden individual plays? How are comms of like people playing for like 8+ years terrible? I don't understand any of this. You got coaches, all this stuff. You have a 3-time world champ on your team. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how these issues are arising the way they are. Like, if it was just solely gameplay, but it's gameplay, it's communication, it's everything. And I don't know how a team like this cannot find their footing. Like, I know every team needs time, but bro, there's some pretty glaring there. And like, that was a blackout for fuck Dashy on that P4. I'm not even gonna lie, that was a blackout. Like, I want to know what the comms were like, exactly like Chance said. I really want to know what the comms were there, and I hope they're actually never gonna fucking release them. So we basically have to like hope Kenny tells us, like, did he actually come to Kenny? There's a guy pushing through kitchen, like, fucking pick it up, and he thought Kenny picked it up, but he actually fucking did, and he walked into that. And then like they didn't get the P4 because that was like a full fucking at least 40 that they would have gotten that P4 probably. But yeah, let me know what you think of this breakdown. I'm probably gonna add in another clip right after this, so we'll see. So I just want to go over like the first 0-8 that Kenny gets. So we already talked about like this like first kill, but to me it felt a lot watching this. I watched this map back now like 4 or 5 times. It felt like he was always it's like so hard to explain. It feels like he's like thinking too much. It feels like he's thinking too much and not thinking at all, and he's not putting himself in good positions, not putting himself in good scenarios. There's a lot of bad timings that he gets, but I think these bad timings are like self-made, I feel. And I feel like he'd be taking better out. So I mean, I guess we'll get into it. So we already saw like the first death that he got. And then this one, he actually ends up getting a bad time on Paul X. So right here, he like sees Paul X slide. This could be hindsight, but I don't really think it is. Like, if you play this game enough, like, you kind of know that, like, whenever a guy slides here, he's always going to, like, slide back. Like, you just always know he's going to, like, check back. Like, he's not going to slide there and just be staring at bed the whole time. He's not going to leave. He's not going to leave fucking kitchen wide open. But you could say, like, you got a horrible timing here. But, I mean, well, that's, like, another one. And Paul X actually pops in 2-piece. And then off spawn there, I mean, granted, like, he is an AR, so it's not his job to take routes, but him, like, going up top AC, like, you're basically gonna lose that, like, every time. But he lost that to an SMG, actually, which is actually the craziest part. He has an AR, he has an SMG. Granted, he is on a heady, but damn, bro. But damn, that's a crazy gunfight to lose. Crazy gunfight to lose. So, like, he loses that one to an SMG. feel like he didn't really put himself in the good positions. Like, you actually see it quite a bit here. So, like, right here, it's like a bad timing, like, because we already talked about how, like, they basically got OpTic in a kill box there. So, I mean, that one he was, like, advancing forward. But this is also, like, an OpTic thing. I actually feel like this is an OpTic thing as well. Like, they didn't work hard enough to get the P2 spawns, like together. Like, they should have made it a priority, especially at the beginning of the game. Like, that P2 at the beginning of the game, like, sets you up for success, because when you have the lead, you could, like, you start to dictate, like, the pace of the game a bit more. Like, you have more freedom, like, to take routes, which is what you saw ROKKR do a majority of this map. Like, they had, like, the leads, so, like, they were able, like, to two-man push on, like, flanks and, like, get rotations and everything. Like, they have more time. Yeah, so Kenny dies there. I don't know why my game's paused. Sorry, here I'm not really gonna critique this much. I mean, like, he obviously just doesn't know as a person going through kitchens still. He like gets fucking cut off there. And then off spawn, he's gonna fly P1 and go piano and die here. So that's another one. It's like, it's okay when it happens like one time, but when it's like constant 0-8, like 16 death streaks, like, you know, after a while it's like, okay, you got to be doing something wrong. I feel like what Octane said like a month ago is like, right, bro, he needs to focus. He needs to, I know it's hard, especially with like the personnel you have on your team, like to focus on your individual self, because I'm not sure if he has enough like faith. I mean, obviously he has enough faith in his team to like shoot their guns back, but like in order to like keep things organized, make the right plays, I don't think he has full trust in his team to do that, which is why I feel like he struggles to play more individually, because he's always trying to like make sure like things are in order. He's not focusing enough on himself, and I feel like he needs to take like a game or two to just like focus on the individual a bit more. Obviously, like, don't go like, ah, fuck it, I'm not like you know, like, don't just give up like the whole like system and everything, like, fuck, I'm just gonna start fucking playing for me now. But play a little bit more for you and see how much more benefits the team. Because if he wins some more gunfights on this map, like if he won some more gunfights on this map, like they could actually have won this game pretty handily. And I've even experienced that in rank. Like, there's like sometimes where like you have like a horrible game and you're like, man, if I won like these like 3-4 gunfights, like it's like an 80-point swing if I won these gunfights. And gunfights are so important in a game like Black Ops 6 when it's trade heavy. Like, you know, like gunfights are everything. And I mean, like, not everything, because there's a lot of time people fucking kill whore and like they like still end up losing the game. You still have to do like the right shit. But I mean, they literally could have won this game. They literally could have won this game. And there's him again, like dying from P1. But I mean, like, this P2 is like exceptionally hard to break. It's like really hard. Like, P2 is so hard to break. And like this one, we glazed over it like at the beginning, but like it just feels like he gets caught down with his pants down a lot. I don't know. Like, that could be me just looking a bit too deep into it, but I'm pretty sure you like saw that guy. Like, I would just hard aim that. Like, there's 12 seconds left. I mean, that guy's like playing for the spawn, so you know he's going to come to you. But I mean, that's just like, yeah, it's whatever. And like, even like this small thing, so like he gets this kill and he just puts himself in a terrible position. Like, now he's like just like right behind like the dining table, and he's kind of in a fuck spot, you can see. And now he has to take this gunfight on Geo from like the dining table, and he gets shot from both sides. Like, yeah, that could be like a small critique, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, I've seen Priesta on Skyline, who's like the second AR. I've seen him pull out an SMG, and at the times he pulls out an SMG in the game, there starts to be a swing for LAG. So I think maybe Kenny on this map specifically needs to venture into an SMG a bit more. I think it might change like the meta. I think it might change the meta a bit more, especially if you get like the bad spawns on P1. Like, just change like the meta a bit. Maybe increase the pace to flip spawns first and then you can pull an AR back out. Like, I don't think 2 ARs on this map the whole time are mandatory. Like, maybe on like a P4, maybe even on a P3, but like, honestly even on like a P1 when you have fucking control. But if you don't have no control near, like, I feel like that third SMG is perfect when you're trying to like get spawns back, you know, like when you have to like hit a rotation through kitchen or whatever, like to get a spawn. I feel like an SMG is more viable in scenarios like that. And this is like another like small thing I miss, like not really trying to over like critique him. I remember like watching this when I was watching this over like my breakfast when I was taking my notes. Like, so right here, there's like nobody on the hill. I just thought he was gonna like fly on the hill and play like a heady. But like instead, he goes down the white steps. He hops off the white steps like down in the open with no cover, and he dies from long range with an SMG. Granted, the SMG literally had the first shot on him, but he could have hopped on the hill there. He could have just hopped on the hill and had control. Maybe number 7 probably would have killed him, but either that or like stay up top. But like that just went for the whole like OpTic losing those P2 spawns, and we already talked about what shots he did. But just always in like bad positions, always in bad positions. I implore all you guys to like go back and watch OpTic VODs and like really watch the arrows and how they could possibly affect Kenny. So like it's like another like scenario. So there's only 9 seconds left on P2. You got nobody at P2. They basically have a pretty good setup. They literally at this point don't have to do a thing. Like 4 is gonna hop on the hill. 2 needs to just play this corner. 1 has all the back. Like they pretty much have everything covered. Wait till you get some kills before doing anything. But making plays when you don't have any info at this moment in time. I mean. So it all comes down like to number 2 and like number 3. So I remember I brought this up when we were going through it, how like AG died in gym, and I said, oh, it's harsh like critiquing him, but like you're gonna see the impact it has. So first number 2, when they have control of P4, I talk about this all the time. Like when you die, it puts your other team in a fuck scenario, especially when you're holding a setup and it isn't like as like the hills like going on. It's like before it even pops. Like your teammates are basically like depending on you to like still be alive in your spot. Like if this guy comes around the corner, he pisses on him, nothing you can do about it. But the fact that he's sprinting out towards P2 side when P3 is about to pop makes no sense to me. Like I don't know what he's getting from going out there. It kind of makes no sense. And then 3 is like pushing through gym. Granted, he's trying to like actually get info on like P1. I'm pretty sure he saw this guy, so I think he's going after him. But then he actually runs into that guy, so I'm not gonna fault him. But I am gonna fault Shotzi, because Shotzi would have died and got that spawn, but like he ends up dying there, and now all of a sudden Kenny's left in no man's out. Now he's like tweaking. Now he's like, what the fuck? Like the people I thought were gonna be alive were supposed to be alive. Gets fucking double teamed back here. So that's just like some like to look into. You can probably find numerous examples of that like throughout the game of just scenarios where he was probably expecting, oh, okay, well, we're chilling. Next thing you know, he has to like, oh shit, now he's in the fucked up spot. And now he's not paying for it because he's on the hill, but he's on rotation and he's fucking dying again. Looks like, oh, fucking Kenny's dying on rotation again. But it's actually like what the other arrows were doing to like affect him, you know?